It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have a Reddit post from r/GBD Killers United titled, "I think it's time for collective action." This was suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community, so shout out to Batsy for suggesting this. And I think it might be worth discussing, it might be worth talking about, and I want to go ahead and give it a read here. It's quite a bit, so we'll try to go through it piece by piece and give our thoughts here. So it says, "It's becoming increasingly obvious to me that Behaviour is not listening to the whole community." Prepare for a long post. And then they say, now that's not to say they aren't listening. The issue with the cakes is one situation where the whole community cried out and they fixed it, sort of. We're all excited for the updates in the future, as well, the collaborations, the next killer release, a graphical update. More are fresh in our minds after the live stream, plus adding Jason is already a dream come true for many of us. But they are not paying nearly enough attention to the gameplay, which is very true. It's actually very true. It's already been obvious. I mean, I've spent so many videos like going over, basically each and every example as to how they're doing that, what's happening and stuff like that. I mean, it goes without saying. So it says, "Killer mains, you know of what I speak already. The relative power levels, the power creep, the various yet surprisingly low strength of many killer perks, the requirements of mind and body simply to engage with higher level play, and the frustration of facing survivors as a whole," which is also very true, very accurate. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that I disagree with yet. I mean, it goes without saying, like I constantly have been stating time and time again, like, it's very frustrating. As much as people want to try to minimize your experience, as much as people will try to gaslight you, lie about their scenario, pretend they have experience, LARP that they're killer mains. I mean, there's so much misinformation within the DBD community, and that's why we're here to try to sort of shovel out all the BS and actually show you guys with the evidence, with the facts provided by not only just myself, but also other creators. That's why we talk about other creators showing examples of that. And you can even see my own examples, you could say, when I'm even just going onto a live stream and just playing the game. Like, it's right before our eyes in real time, basically, of all the issues that we have with the game just sort of popping up right there and then, like right before our eyes, in other words. But let's continue. They say, "Survivor mains who read this, surely you have seen how the game has become mostly boring for you. When you run meta perks, you stretch out the game more and more. Second chances, extra long chases, watching the killer walk off after leaving you slugged. That's besides how you use these perks to cover up for your shortcomings, rather than in learning to improve your gameplay without them. And for what? Playing bar filling simulator, bullying the killer." Which, how many times have I said this, right? That's the main reason I don't play Survivor myself, because I've already put in 400 hours of my life to trying it out and giving it time and learning things, and I've already just kind of come to the conclusion that I'm like, yo, this side is super boring. Like, I've tried to, different ways to make it interesting. I've tried playing with others in parties and things like that. It just isn't that interesting. Like, it really is not. I mean, I spent most of my time, being able to loop well, but then that doesn't really impact the match at all, because my teammates are either bad, they're not doing the objective, whatever it may be, they're making a bad play, they're misusing their perk, they don't know how to synergize things, they do this, that, and the third, whatever the combination may be. So all the effort I was putting in pretty much meant nothing. And then, or I'll go against a killer, but then all the resources are gone, or I'm being one-shotted by something, so I go, okay, so all the effort I'm putting in and learning is not really equating to anything, because most of the pain points usually come from the bad matchmaking with the teammates, and also just the mere fact that the resources are usually gone at the time that I was playing, and then most of the game I'm just sitting there crouched next to a machine pressing spacebar every once in a while. Where's the gameplay? I'm not doing anything useful. I'm not doing anything that's really worth my time. I'm not engaging with the game. But anyway, so they say how much actual stress is involved in playing Survivor compared to playing Killer. Try them both for 100 matches in a row. Same Survivor, same Killer. I'm curious to see if you can spot the difference in Survivor mains. They say, we have the community have watched and played the game for 10 years and want to watch it and play for 10 more, but also want it to be fun. I don't think many of us are truly having fun anymore. After all, look at how we made a competitive scene that bans most everything meta because it's too strong. Which is also a valid point, which we've even covered a Survivor main that like completely ignores facts and logic because they quote don't care. So, but mind you, we have to use the comp scene as an example. We have to use what we have here to prove our point, because if the game was truly balanced, why would they need to constantly ban like hundreds of perks because of that on Survivor? Why do they have to limit the maps they go to? Why do they have to have map specific thing, like, you know, for each specific killer? At that point, wouldn't there be a variety of maps that they could potentially go to because of that? I'm just saying, right? I understand that comp, they usually ban certain maps, but the amount of maps to where you can only play on one map for, say, Pig, or one map for Ghostface is insane. It just goes to show. They say beyond that, survivors make up 80% of the player base ish because they have to make the game function. That also means Behavior knows they get 4 times revenue from survivors buying skins and killers, and will focus on them. We all saw how many people in the live stream raise their hands, say the Survivor mains, devs included. That shows clear potential measurable bias, which, yes, that is a good point. I can't say that like, obviously I've always made that claim before. I've always used that as an example, and then, you know, obviously that is something that we can use as evidence, because that is something that has happened, and that is something that we have on a pre-recorded I guess not technically pre-recorded, but a live stream that has happened, that we can go to the timestamp and actually see it happen, which we've done before. It is many killers' belief that the game is survivor-sided, and there's plenty of evidence to support it, more than even what I just mentioned, which I've spent how many videos talking about that? Like, it's actually kind of insane. The amount of evidence is overwhelming. They say perhaps the most egregious example of this, how the devs didn't know flashlights were a problem until one dev was shown how they function directly, and was summarily stomped by them, resulting in the flashlight nerf. They, along with Plague and Doctor, still stop some people from playing due to accessibility risks, epilepsy, or severe phobic reactions generally, and yet there is still no fix or accessibility adjustments for them. Plague could easily have an accessibility option that has her visual and audio effects be rainbows and sparkles, for example, which is an interesting point. That is an interesting point. That's partially, like, what's funny is that I'm pretty sure that's why we never have like a spider killer, because of the fact that there's, like, you know, phobic reactions, stuff like that. So now for epilepsy, I haven't really seen anything on Doctor that does have anything that could potentially do that. At least I don't think. But that's, you know, that's whatever, it's fine. They say it is my belief that it's time for a boycott, which I fully stand behind that, just off the metric of the not metric, but the merit, I guess you could say. That it's what I've been advocating for quite some time. It's what I've been telling everybody, you know, who tunes in, like, yo, if you're not enjoying the game, stop freaking playing it. Like, and if you're a killer enjoyer, stop playing it. Like, they are not balancing the game around you. They do not care about you as a player. They do not care about you as a consumer. They really don't. Because if they did, you would actually get actual, not only cosmetics more frequently, but you would also get more balance changes that actually help the gameplay. You would actually not have 1,000 survivor buffs. You would actually have, like, actual changes to killers that are better than a decimal point difference, without it nerfing an add-on that only provided a decimal point difference, i.e. Doctor is the most egregious example, because he got a decimal point upgrade to his attack, and then they nerfed the add-ons. Why? We don't know. It makes no sense. Ghostface, one of the weakest characters in the game, getting side graded, mind you, side graded for his updates, for all his add-ons. I would just take away some of the add-on. Like, why? We don't know. The character is not very good, not very strong, struggles against any competent players, but somehow he doesn't need any changes. I don't know. Makes no sense. Okay. It says this event should be the final nail in the coffin for most killer mains. Yes, you can win sometimes, but realize why you win. The survivors don't know how to utilize their super buffs, which is true. When they do know how, they demolish you. This event should be the ultimate alarm bell. They gave killer basically nothing fun to use during this event and gave survivor basically everything, which, mind you, people have listed the bonuses between the killers and survivors, and when they listed the survivor bonuses, they were at least 10 minimum. And then you look at the killer bonuses and they've only received maybe 2. So what does that say? Right? It just doesn't make any sense. They say, I believe it is time for killers to unite under one banner and challenge behavior where it hurts their numbers. Do not queue up for killer. Log in for daily, weekly rewards, but do not queue it. It is fine to buy cosmetics and such for killers. In fact, I encourage doing so during this time to show the interest remains. But do not play killer. If you play killer at all, don't queue for it. Queue survivor if you play at all. Make the survivor wait times longer and longer. Make behavior realize that they need killers to have fun and enjoy to play, even to have an ace them in the first place. Spread the word for this event and likely beyond. Now, my main thing that I'm going to say in response to that is no, I do not recommend buying anything from them. Like, do not buy their cosmetics, do not buy their chapter, do not buy anything, because you need to show that you're not a consumer anymore, like that you left the game. Don't play the game. By you playing the game, you're adding to their numbers, and then they're gonna think, oh, we're doing a good job because we're maintaining this high number of players. It's like, don't play the game. I don't care if you like the game and you love it. Oh my god, I gotta play. Stop. You clearly have, like, there is something there that you need to address, because this game doesn't care about you. These devs don't care about you. Now, I've heard it, like, I believe I heard from Refine in his video by saying, you know, there's not another game like it. And that is true. And that, I would say, it's hard to kind of step away from, because it's like, you like the experience and it's the only game that provides it, but I think there has to be a time where we have to face the music and understand that, like, the time is up. It's over. Like, it's already done. Let's pack our bags. We had a good time, but this is abusive. This is like this is a bit of a toxic relationship you're having with this game, because you're getting nothing but breadcrumbs while the other side is feasting, and then you're still like continuing to go to the dinner table. It's like, dude, you're not gonna get anything else. You're getting crumbs. It's like it's not good for you. Like, it's not healthy. But regardless, the main thing I'm trying to get at here is, don't even queue for Survivor if you don't like it. There's no reason to even play the game if you're not having fun. That's just the core message that I'm trying to put out, is the mere fact that don't play the game, don't queue for it, don't load up the game, uninstall even, like, if that helps. Uninstall the game. Do not buy anything. Do not sit there and play the game. Do not give them any users on Steam. Like, do not give them that. Do not give them the money. Do not give them anything. There's no reason for you to continue to give them your time when they do not care about yours. Like, they don't care about your time. They don't care about your input. They don't care about your voice. They don't care about anything that you have to bring if you're a killer player. They're only concerned with the survivor experience. They're only concerned with the survivor money. They're only concerned with the casuals. So if you're a veteran of the game, you're not welcome either. But anyway, it says, don't queue for killer, make behavior listen. This is, we're at a perfect crossroads. We let the game continue as it has, so we can make an impact. We can make a difference in the future. It says, we are here. It's time to make noise in the way that we actually can pay attention to, making survivors complain about it. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for survivors in this post. I actually want to challenge my thinking or beliefs. Let's have a proper discussion. I want to have a genuine debate, not an argument or insult contest. Now, that's where you also get it wrong, because keep in mind that survivor mains are not interested in having actual logical conversation. They've only and have ever only been engaging with the toxicity, the name calling, the nonsensical responses, the delusion. Let's be so for real, okay? They do not care about that. They do not care about having a logical response, because we've seen this before in the DVD forums. We've seen this before in video format. We've seen this before in YouTube comments. We've seen this in every way that these people come out of the woodwork to have discussions. Now, are there survivor mains that have wonderful takes and have logical thinking and can do that? Of course there are, and we've covered those people as well in the past. But the problem is that that's the minority of the survivor players, when the majority are these delusional, you know, maniacs, I guess you could say, that like have no idea what the hell they're talking about and make up their own reality as they go along. So like, let's be so honest. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these responses here. So they're saying like, this is what the sub is for, like we're trying to like kind of band together. The original poster of the OP says that the main subreddit blocked the post, but it was better to put it in there. So this person says that regardless of anyone's feelings about the game, posting this in the main sub will get a mod action, maybe a ban. Just kind of true. Yeah, and then of course, like, you know, they tend to do that a lot in these forums and stuff like that. They have a bunch of mods that are only interested in just adding on to the constant toxicity and survivor main focused perspective. Like anything that disagrees with that sort of narrative is usually removed. So it's even within the DNA of the community. Like it's disgusting. But anyway, this person says, I used to play killer more than survivor, but I got my friends to play. They still suck, but it's fun and chaotic. I will say I am probably a survivor main now, but I don't use meta perks. Run the same perks since 2020 other than my 4th slot, which is why I switched to one of the new perks for funsies. Do still play Legion every now and then. It helps me when you just blast music and not take the game too serious. Now, mind you, keep in mind that this is, like, despite what anybody says, this is also an example of what all of us are kind of talking about. He used to play killer, but obviously didn't really maintain much interest because it's not very interesting to get steamrolled all day long. Goes on to play casually on the casual side with friends on Survivor because it's easy cheesy mode, and of course on top of that you have friends to do it with. So of course they're going to stick to the part that's the most casual and the most fun to do because you're hanging out with your friends. You could literally play any game, to be fair. It's not DVD that's fun, it's you hanging out with your friends is fun, and it's just the game is just the medium that you do that. So you could literally be on Repo or Peak or whatever other friend game you want to do that on, and it will literally be just as fun, if not more so, to be fair. DVD is not the game that's, oh, it's so much fun. No, it's not. Just be so for real. So the OP says the biggest issue in my opinion is that survivors are given all the fun things killer haven't been. Many killers have been left way too underpowered as Ghostface and Huntress. The answer to killers and fun shouldn't be just play X, it should be the devs should make it easier to have fun as killer. The event is proof of their bias. Survivors got a ton of toys like invisibility or invincibility or even unbreakable god palettes, and killers got they say a poison bottle, but I'm calling it a fart cloud because that's what it is. So you're just throwing a fart. Like you're not. And I think that in itself should be the most disrespect that I think the killer mains have received in quite some time, is the fact that your entire ability is to just throw a fart. You literally have no other abilities besides that. Diabolical. Diabolical. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. So let's see. So it says, for some reason, because they're saying, let me continue. So they say the boycott because killers want to have fun too. Can appreciate letting music blast Legion. I can appreciate having fun with sucky friends. I can appreciate not having meta perks, but it's not a true answer. It's not a solution. So this person disagrees and says it is a solution. I don't think it is. I don't think you continuing to swallow all the DVD slop is going to make it somehow like better for you. Like it's still slop. Like you're not having a good quality gaming experience. Like you're not walking away going, wow, that was such a great session. I really felt like that was worthy of discussion. That's worthy to tell other people about. No, it's not. You're sitting there and basically playing friend slop, I guess is what people call the new games that are based around having fun with your friends. You're basically playing friend slop and then claiming the game is good. Like, no, it's not the game. It's the experience of you playing with your friends. So you can say, hey, I like playing with my friends. Playing these games. As in plural, not DVD. But anyway. This person says, I've been playing the game for 6 years, never thought of quitting, no matter how bad it is. Which, I mean, just tells us all that you have this very low standard for your gaming experience. You know, I hate to say it, because how can you sit here and swallow all of this and not for a second go, this kind of sucks. Like this isn't very interesting. Like I just think it's a waste of time to get on killer and just to do basically nothing. Like your entire job in an ASIM is to step into a power role or play as your favorite character and to be able to be a force. Like that's kind of the point. Like you're stepping in to be a power role and to kind of see if the survivors can make it out or not. And that in itself is the gameplay. Like you have one monster, four victims. They're trying to make their way out of it. Will they make it? Will they not? Like that's just how it goes. But this person says I played for about 200 hours or so. My goodness. So this is a new player, by the way, because I'm speaking as somebody who's had at least 3,600 hours on the game over the course of how long it's been that how long the games that I've been on the game. But regardless, 200-hour player is saying the same thing that a 3K plus hour person is saying. That in itself should mean something. New players are joining the game saying the same stuff that we're all saying. That should be a problem. But for some reason, people don't take that into account. They just don't magically care. They said the event is my main problem. I was like, they're giving 9 kills, the bare minimum for a collab, probably in favor of the event. Unrelated, but I know it's extremely stupid that the people who are undoubtedly more passionate about horror than behavior has ever been are getting less cosmetics than the amount of Hellfire Club shirts alone. I stopped playing for both of those reasons, so I felt the need to include the side tangent. Which is a very good point. I completely agree with that. I think there's a lot of people that play DVD that are not horror fans. I've said this before. Some people may disagree with that, but at least from my understanding, my perspective, what I've seen within the community, it seems like a lot of people just play the game and are not even remotely horror fans. They don't know what any of the IPs are from. They've never played the IPs before. They've never engaged with that content before. And for some reason they're playing DVD, and I just sit there and I'm like, do you not watch any of these movies? Like, do you not know anything about how the movies work? And it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. Because I think if there were actual horror fans within this community, there would be a much different perspective. Because if the entire inception, the entire creation of this game was dedicated from the slasher genre, right? It was an inspiration for them, that they literally created that experience of the hide and go seek sort of experience that they created at the very beginning of the game, being like from the very start. DNA was the cat and mouse, which is the slasher genre, sort of whatever it may be, and they've already moved way beyond past that. They went into the survivor paradise, as we always call it, survive by the sunrise, because there's literally no one dying in these matches anymore. They have so much invincibility, so many abilities on Survivor, so many things to prevent kills and death. It's like, why even call it Dead by Daylight at that point? It should be called Survive by the Sunrise. And then you just gotta switch the pictures around. Put Dwight instead of Trapper up there. Because you're promoting the game as being like this horror experience, but there's no horror to be found. Let alone like all these like collabs that do nothing. Horrible. So then this random person says they're going to keep abusing the very balanced killer that's released. Mind you, the killer... Jesus Christ, bro. This is what I'm saying, man. This right here is the blinding example of what we've been talking about over and over and over and over again. It's like, it's insane, dude. It's insane. People sit here and blindingly, like, oh my god, like they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They screenshot low MMR stats with low hours and go, wow, this killer is so strong. You're going against people that don't know how to play. And then because of this stupid statement, watch the killer get nerfed even more, which as I'm saying, with somebody who's only been playing killer for as long as I have been, until I've eventually have not been playing that goddamn game up to this point, beyond streams, can tell you, Jason is goddamn garbage, okay? I keep saying this. People love to say he's like, hey, he's like an A tier. No, he's not. He's Springtrap with a little more range. You're not really doing anything crazy with him. Let's be so for real. I almost argue that Springtrap's ability is just better than Jason's with the actual range option. And you're probably like, oh, that's a hot take. Why? The fact of the matter is that Jason remains at 4.4 meters per second at all times. Regardless of holding his stick or not, he is moving slower than most of the M1 killers in the first place. Top it off with the fact that his projectile is so fast. You have to be extremely precise, which is not really necessarily possible on a controller, usually, because controllers are not really known for the most precision, and DVD isn't known for the most, like, you know, the greatest settings for controls. So you're already having not only an like, I can't say accessibility, but you're already having an issue with your controls just because of that alone. If you're only on a controller and you for some reason don't have a keyboard and mouse, then you're kind of cooked. That's already number one. Two, the fact of the matter is that Jason can only teleport to pallet locations. If he's in phase, he can just walk around the map, but he still has to go to a loop or a tile or something, which is usually miles away from where the damn survivor is anyway, compared to Springtrap, where at least you gain undetectable and can actually still attack them. I mean, you're so loud as hell, so it doesn't really matter. But regardless, there's so much wrong with saying that Jason's overpowered, but also so much wrong with a screenshot like this, because some bozo would look at this and go, wow, that killer is so crazy, oh my goodness. It's like, dog, you've only played for 6 hours and your kill rate is at 91% because you're new to the character, new to the game. Like, come on, bro. So this person literally states 700 hours as killer, so that already tells you that you don't have hours, dude. So this person, I noticed you avoided your survivor hours, even though both lend themselves to accessible queues. But anyway, Jason is strong, but he's also new. Most people don't know how to play against him yet. Give it 2 weeks, he'll be lower win rate again as people figure him out on both sides. Not to mention his appearance here means plenty of new people, and some who have left previously have rejoined, meaning the win rates are a bit inflated to a larger population of players that don't know how to play well. And then this person says, oh, please let me hear it. I would love to hear low MMR and a completely new release killer. Like, yes, it is low MMR. You've never played the character before. Duh. Like, you're gonna go against people who don't know what they're doing. Going again, and mind you, the large amount of new players that are joining the game or rejoining the game add on to that. Like, you're not, you know, God's gift to DBD because, oh my God, I'm playing a new killer with new players. Like, come on, buddy. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why people have such this delusion that they think they're amazing at the fucking game because they're playing against players that are new to the fucking game. It's insane. So this person says, the anniversary event for me has been an absolute breath of fresh air because I stopped playing against Jason. If you don't, brother, this is another dumbass statement that I see from everybody around when new killers drop. Oh, why do I keep going against the same character? I'm like, because they're new? Like, everybody wants to play the new character. It's new content. If you don't like it, wait a week or two, or even a month if you want, to let people play it out. Then it'll start to switch back to normal after a bit. And then he says, he wants to say that the rest of your survivor main paragraph is cope. What? He literally states that if you're using the meta perks, you're given the second chances, which extend chases, which also lead to people slugging, and then proceeds to say that's how you use the perks to cover up your shortcomings. And then they want to say you're yelling at survivors for running the meta, then end the same sentence with killer bullshit slugging. Yeah, you can't. I keep saying this, bro. I said this before I even read the responses. I already knew the bullshit was coming. I've said this so many times. The survivor players that come out of the woodwork to try to have these discussions are disingenuous and are actively choosing to either feign ignorance, gaslight, ignore, or insult, or whatever it may be. Exhibit fucking A. We already have another example. Talk about killer bullshit. Sure it is. Yeah, okay. I guess in Bizarro world, you know? Okay. Somehow making the game unpleasant is Survivor's fault? Like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? The chase is the fun part, at least for me. If every game was doing gens and no chases, it's fucking boring. But it is, though. What are you talking about? You can LARP and say that, oh, I love Survivor and I like chasing. Like, you clearly don't, bro. Because 90% of your match is in doing the bar, filling the bar. Heal, you fill a bar. You do the gen, you fill a bar. You sit there on the hook, you're doing nothing. You're on the ground, you do nothing. So what are you doing all match? I don't run the meta. I'm like, nobody cares if you run the meta, bro. Every killer match I've seen it play is also a meta of many gens, slowdown, tunneling, killer can make my escape rate is terrible. Well, then maybe it should be terrible because the escape rates are already too high as it is. So slow down. Like, come on, buddy. But anyway. So they say I have probably lost like 80% of my anniversary matches, but I've been having fun nonetheless because I finally don't get Jason every round. But then again, I don't take the game that serious and don't cry that I'm not winning as much as possible. But yet simultaneously, they're also crying about slugging. They're trying to LARP and say they don't use meta, crying that they're gone against Jason, and then also trying to say that they've lost their matches, meaning they have a skill issue. So disingenuous, but in every situation. And then they say slugging isn't killer bullshit. The game manual literally says for killers to win by any means necessary. Slugging and tunneling someone out is how they reduce the survivor efficiency. Increase your ability to win the round. That's unpleasant. Play better. Killers rarely actually slug or tunnel from the start. If they do, it's because they don't care about survivors having fun. Survivors teabagging and slinging insults and having a handbook in the first place, all about survivors having fun and not killers. Which is a good point. Mind you, they said this person is literally stating they have 200 hours in the game. Right? The OP. From what we saw in the comments. And they're literally stating stuff that all of us know who already have the thousands of hours at this point. Like, it's insanity. But I'm just saying that has to be worthy of discussion. That has to be worth talking about. Why are people that are new to the game saying the same stuff that the vets are saying? What are we talking about at that point, right? There has to be something that has to matter, dude. That has to matter. Killers don't slow down because they enjoy chase too. The gens are done so fast they can't enjoy the chases nearly as much because they have to end them fast and often have it to actually have a chance at chasing everyone down. Very true. They say, hold on, let's continue. So they say, losing 80% of your event rounds is a skill issue too. Yeah, portals and invincibility too. Free items, unbreakable pallets, free haste, health states. All the killers have is a bottle of farts. That's, yeah, quite literally. I mean, it's a poison, but I don't care. Yeah, and then they're like, you do understand that survivors bully killers because killers bully survivors. What are you talking about? So they said when survivors like myself literally throw ourselves in front of a killer to try and prevent the killer from tunneling at 5, it's not exactly the survivors who are the problem. Actually, yes, it is, because that person who's being chased has a skill issue. You jumping in front of them is quite literally giving more pressure. So yes, it's still your fault. Like, duh. Like, what the hell? It's just so dumb. Like, the IQ is always low, bro. I keep saying this. This is why we look over these responses and things, because it shows you a peek into what the community is about. The entitlement is so deep that they think that playing badly means that they should win. It's actually insane. It's mentally deranged. Like, I don't understand like why in any scenario you playing badly should benefit you. That makes no sense. This isn't like a walking simulator. You know what I'm saying? We're actually playing a multiplayer video game. They said the problem isn't survivors, the problem isn't killers, the problem is toxic entitlement where each side thinks the other side needs to give them the easy win and thus each side bullies each other. No, that's not true. The fact of the matter is that the toxic entitlement is on both sides. However, it is higher on survivor end because there's more players on there, more casual players that are also just entitled on that side of town. And the main problem is the development and how they're deciding to push towards that side of survivor casuals that will feed the most money. Like, that's at the end of the day. That is the bigger issue. Killers rarely do slug, which is why I call it bullshit. This cope. Not calling it bullshit because it's not a valid tactic. I fully understand considering I'm a nurse player. No, you're not. They said, but slugging and tunneling, especially when it's beginning of the match, go either way. It's unpleasant for everybody. It really makes you seem sweaty. Who cares if you seem sweaty or not? Any and every scenario where a player, at least like that is going against competent teams, which is a good chunk of the time, unless you're like at beginner or mid MMR, but at least speaking for myself, I go against players where I just have to go from the very start because I'm playing a low tier, because I enjoy playing. I've enjoyed keyword, or at least like the character I wanted to play. I'm not going to play Blight, for example, because I don't really like the character, whatever. Fact of the matter is, you don't start strong, you're going to lose. You're not going to die if you don't get the 4K, but you can also flip that around. You're not going to die if you don't get the fucking escape. Like, you don't have to fly out the gate in under 3 minutes. Like, you could easily wait out a little longer. Maybe try to go for another heal or two. Maybe open a chest at some point. Like, do something else other than pushing the gens out. You know what I'm saying? But they don't do that. They don't think like that. And that's also why I was saying, why don't we have side objectives to make it more interesting? But that's just me. When a killer does it, the survivors then make it go to bully the next killer. It's just stupid, bro. And then they want to cope and say portals are janky. Buddy. Invincibility lasts a very short time. Buddy, come on. Coping about your free bonuses and benefits are not going to change anything. You're still inevitably disproven and incorrect. You lost. You lost, bro. It's over. Like, you already got cooked, dog. That's why they didn't respond. It's ridiculous, bro. And then his whole thing is, oh, just swallow the slob and keep eating more slob. That's his only response. Oh, just enjoy the slob. Swallow the slob. Eat it all. Like, that's their only response. They don't have any other rebuttal. They don't have anything to provide of any value in this conversation. It's insane. Let's actually read the OP response. They say, I absolutely get it happens on both sides. It means that the buck has to stop going back and forth, and that someone has to put down the teabag. Slugging at the start is technically better for the survivors. You have more time as a slug than unhook, and you aren't getting marked by both hook states. You can be picked up faster than being unhooked if you're fully recovered and you can still move around. It feels bad because you have to wait to be picked up or move without a perk, and you don't get endurance or haste upon being picked up without the other survivor having a perk. They could just make being picked up a 5-second endurance, for example, and it would be much more tolerable for survivors. But obviously, then that would directly nerf the killers even more by buffing the survivors. So, anyway, so they say, I don't think killers do it to get a 4K. I think they do it because they have to, only in twins, because they're at the end of the match, or because they're struggling to get wins at their MMR because of Swifts and other issues. It's fully intentional. I don't think it's super popular to do intentionally, though, unless it's retaliatory. But yeah, the toxicity needs to be properly punished to actually reduce it. You justify the event. You justifying the event is funny. You don't get them all, but it's ridiculously survivor loaded. Killers can use portals and get a bit of haste, but I don't see killers getting super fast power breaks or invisibility or extra dash or super haste. I have to play survivor to get most of the actual fun of the event, which is rather telling in my opinion. I get playing the regular, but even the regular has frustrations. Not everyone can separate the outcome from fun, unfortunately. So I'm trying to include that perspective in my opinion. But mind you, bro got cooked. I mean, nobody's gonna agree with that, you know, honestly. So, and Jason is arguably one of the worst like killer releases in my opinion. This person says, if you want constructive engagement for survivors, you're starting out poorly by claiming the game is survivor-sided. It has been survivor-sided. It's been balanced to be more forgiving for killers since 6.1. No, it hasn't, bro. No, it hasn't. Oh my god. I mean, you said funnest instead of more fun, so you already lost. So get out of here. They say that the data doesn't back that up. Look at the kill rates. The highest won't even crack 60. The lowest is 43, and that's the 20,000 games that got recorded in the last 30 days. There it is, right there. You just got cooked. So this person says you're a tunneling, slugging killer complaining about survivors. So that you already lost the argument off of that. So I'm not gonna read the rest. You already lost. And then OP's response, I think, was ass, because it's like, I don't tunnel or slug. Like, bro, don't feed into their delusions. Just cut that part out and just say I'm defending those playstyles because the in-game guys as killers should take any means necessary to win, which is a pretty good source. And also the mere fact that it's literally a strategy. The data provided, no, it doesn't. There is no, like, bro, no, it's not. No, behavior gives us data. Like, no, they don't, bro. Exactly. What data? Exactly what data? Yep, they got cooked. Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. I have yet to see. And of course, the classic, can y'all please just keep eating the slop of the game already? All I ever see is complaining and not eating the slop. Y'all are so lame for not sucking up the slop from the tube. But like, come on, buddy. What is, like, yo, and that's why you got downvoted. Like, what are you doing, bro? And it's like, if you don't like it, just uninstall. Don't. Like, come on, bro. It's ridiculous, man. Like, that's what I keep saying, bro. Like, you can't reason with the DVD community, bro. You can't. How many times have I said this? You cannot reason with the DVD community, bro. You can't. You can't. Like, you're not gonna do it. You're not. I mean, you're just not. You're not. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. Like, when the only response you get is, you're a killer main, you're slugging, and then the other one is, you keep eating the slop, yo. Just uninstall. Like that's your only rebuttal. You're not getting a discussion out of this. Like, come on now, bro. Let them continue to eat the slop. Just let them do it. Just let them do it. Let them do it. There's no way to stop them anymore. They're addicted to it. Just let them have it. Take the conscious decision to step back and go somewhere else. That's the only thing you can do. Just back up. Be like, you know what? You got it, big dog. You got it. But like, the rest of us are gonna enjoy quality gourmet gaming while these people can keep eating the dirt all day long. Hey man, that's all you. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta say. It's all you. That's all you. That's it. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Let me know your thoughts on the topic at hand today. Let me know. Consider becoming a member on YouTube or Patreon, even checking the other channels we have now for the video essays, and we also got one for Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals one has a bit more video, so that one's at the end screen, and we also have it at in the link in the description for that channel as well. So if you're into Rivals, I main tank. So go check that out. See you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Hargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.